Yo, what's up, Club Fox? So, Season 3 Reloaded just launched this week. If you haven't updated your game, what are you doing? Have you even been on the game? Get on it. Now, Season 3 Reloaded introduced a couple really cool things to the game. A lot of things to the game. Weapon balances, lots of updates, even real big changes to different ways that attachments work on different categories like snipers. A lot of great YouTube channels out there covering that. But what we want to talk about is the big update to the meta in Warzone. Now, I had been looking at the meta and tracking it through a website called WarzoneRanked.com. We're going to take a look at that. Season 3 Reloaded has been up and running for a few days now. So we're going to get a decent look at what the different meta changes are and if those changes have even begun to happen yet, if they're gonna happen, or does the meta basically look the same? We'll see how it goes. I have my idea on a couple different things that might change. We'll see how it plays out. We'll keep you updated on the next video, but for now, welcome to the very first Warzone meta report in the Club Fox Retro Wave Lounge. By the way, got the tank top on in honor of John McClane from Die Hard. Number 1, number 2. That's all you need to see. Die Hard, Die Hard 2. And then red headband, why not? In honor of John Rambo, the two heroes that just got introduced into the game. Make sure you take advantage of grabbing those. They are limited time only. Unfortunately, I'm not telling you to spend your money, but I'm tempted to spend $24 on John McClane. Just saying. All right, into the Warzone meta report. Now, let's go ahead and jump onto WarzoneRanked.com and take a look at what we can see on the meta. WarzoneRanked.com, great place to check everything out. If you see here, when you click on the loadouts button right up here, you'll see a lot of great information. First of all, the meta Genie coefficient. You can read into this as much as you possibly want to, but basically what you got to know is the higher this green line gets to the top, the less diverse the game is. If it's a really low swoop, that means a lot of people are picking a lot of different things. If it's a high peak, we're sort of at a moderate peak right now, that means the game is much less diverse. Here's the important stats that you want to know. Pick ratio. This is the meta, right? Let me repeat that. This is the meta. You can see right here that the Car 98K is far and above the most popular choice right now. Actually not that big of a KD right now. 0.95, but 13.6% pick rate. It is about 50% higher than the AMAX, which is a 9.9% pick rate. Kilo 141, 6.6 pick rate. I won't read off all the specific numbers to you right there, but definitely something worth checking out. So that's the meta right now. If you want to look at the top 10 of weapons, LC10, M4A1 from Modern Warfare, Krig 6, MP5 from Modern Warfare, Rem 7, Growl 556, Mac 10 Kilo CR, 56 AMAX, and the Car 98K. I expect this meta to shift and change just a little bit as we go through the season, but you never know what really is going to happen. So keep an eye on this, and we'll be doing more meta reports in the future as well. So it's really interesting to see how the meta sort of shifts and plays out with Season 3 Reloaded. There's been a lot of adjustments, and we've seen a lot of people on Twitch, on YouTube, gamers using different weapons now. Instead of the Car 98, they're going for the Swiss K31, for example. The AMAX is still the weapon of choice. The AK-47, though, you got a lot of big-name guys using it. TP, great Warzone player and streamer. He's using the AK-47 basically exclusively at this point over the past few days since that meta shift or since that Season 3 Reloaded update. So we'll keep an eye on how the Cold War AK-47 plays out going forward in the meta. But for now, that is the top meta report. Now let's take a look at another statistic here. One thing that you might want to keep in mind is the kill-death ratio, right? So got a lot of people picking the Car 98, but it's not really the highest kill-death ratio. The highest kill-death ratio, the AMAX. That is the most powerful weapon in the game right now if you can control recoil. The second best weapon, according to the way that we're looking at these KD stats and pick ratio stats, you're going to ignore the street sweeper because these are different things that just people aren't picking. So on the rare occasion that they use them, they're getting kills with them. So that's why the KD is a bit inflated. So you really want to pick weapons that have a higher pick ratio. But for example, like I said, that up-and-comer AK-47 from Cold War, it's now up to a 2.3% pick ratio, and it's got an over 1 KD right now. Very, very powerful weapon. Getting close to inching into that AMAX. I suspect that it's going to start overtaking pick ratio for AMAX, and things will start to level out there a little bit. One thing that I found was really, really interesting is that you're not really seeing the Kilo anywhere on this list yet, right? You have to scroll down quite a bit until you get to the Kilo. It is way down here at a 0.88 kill-death ratio. The reason for that is, even though it's got one of the highest pick rates in the game, in fact, it's number 3, is that it is very controllable recoil. So a lot of less experienced or less straight shooting players are using that Kilo 141, but you're not getting a lot of kills with it because it just doesn't hit at range and it just doesn't fry up close either. There are so many better options in the game right now for far range gunfights, such as sniper rifles, the AMAX if you can control the recoil, the AK-47, things of that nature. And then there are things that are way better up close, such as the Mac 10, LC10, PPSH, XM4, M4 from Modern Warfare, Ram 7, lots of great weapons that you can see being used up close that are being very, very successful as opposed to the Kilo 141. It's been a long time since Kilo was the primary meta as far as kill power, but you can see it's number 3 on the pick ratio, so people are still holding on to the Kilo. Will it become Bruin at some point where it used to be the super meta and now no one picks it? Interestingly enough, there's a lot of other information that we want to cover in the meta report, secondary weapons, perks, equipment. So one last thing before we wrap up here, perks. One perk you're never going to see used a whole lot is Battle Hardened. Not a big pick rate. Most people are picking Amped, and Amped and Tracker are probably the best possible scenarios that you can go into a game with. However, Battle Hardened, super powerful, especially when you get in late game situations, or if you start finding yourself because of SPMM or whatever other randomness is going on, you find yourself in those really difficult lobbies. Most of the time, you're going to run up against bumper bros. If you're in more of a bronze, silver, gold lobby, or some lower tier gold lobbies at least, you're not going to get that as much. But when you start progressing up to diamond, platinum, these super high tier competitive lobbies, stuns are going to just be tossed everywhere. People will hold on to their stuns. They won't use heartbeat sensors as much. They'll pick them up off the ground and hold them until they get their loadout. So those stuns are going to be popped quite a bit more frequently in those harder lobbies. Battle Hardened might be something that you can use to sneak up on your opponents and maybe take away an advantage they thought they had, but you actually have Battle Hardened instead of something else like Amped or Tracker. Tracker's good, but I think it's overused. It's more of a crutch perk, and it really isn't that great. I mean, I've chased down a few people with Tracker, but for the most part, it just causes you to chase, and one of the #1 rules of Call of Duty, don't chase. Unless you absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt, 210% know you have that kill, just don't chase, especially in a Warzone situation where there's so many different ways to go. Hiding in a bush, a mini bush, right? Lots of different ways that Tracker can actually harm you instead of benefit you. That is the meta report for right now in Call of Duty Warzone as Season 3 Reloaded jumps into its very first weekend. We'll keep an eye on this and release a brand new Warzone meta video as soon as we get some updated information that's going to be a little bit different from what we see here. So stay tuned for the next one. Like and subscribe if you enjoy. We've got lots of gameplay, multiplayer, Warzone, all kinds of fun stuff on the YouTube. We stream 3 times a week over on Twitch, twitch.tv/ZTheDesertFox. Would love to see you there. Drop us a follow, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hopefully we'll see you on the next one. Stay sexy, stay safe. Big salute from the captain. See you soon.